Hi folks. Yeah, as promised, I'll go through this code with you. It's a code that, do all the inputs and post processing so that you actually know you're doing everything right. Then after this, we're gonna do our homeworks. Yeah, this one will be a homework with some reports and actually have a due date. Okay, better do that. So if you have come to class, I don't think I need to explain too much, but let me just run through. I changed my font, and oh boy, how the yeah, okay, I'll preference this fonts. Yeah, let's make it bigger so that nobody's apply. All right, this is great. Oh, okay, it's a function that's SolveTruss2D truss. You got the inputs here, and then the first step is really just to get how many nodes you all have and how many elements you have. Then once you prepare that, you call the GK function to get your GK, assuming it's correct. Then you apply your boundary conditions. Then you get your modified GK1 and the fourth one. Then you do this invert, or you can just do this backslash. And then you solve for the real displacement vector. After you get that, you get your original GK. The time that true displacement vector, you got your true force vector. In fact, everything's solved. Okay. The rest is just post processing. The first thing we want to do, like I said, is to make plots. So this is the input where you tell the program you want to plot or not. I mean, if you don't want it, you just put -1. If you want it, in fact, you put any positive number, it will plot it. Hold on to make sure the plotted bar will stay. Then you loop through your M with element, and then you kind of just plot each element as a single line. In here, I use the color blue. If you hate it, you can do black. Yeah, you figure it out yourself. Okay, I don't. Yeah, just go to help. Then this is original truss, undeformed. Then you're gonna add the displacement you just calculated, and then you want to add it with a scale factor, which you inputted. Then what you do is that you create a new version of the node xy, but now it's the deformed node xy with the original one plus your displacement. And you loop through all the nodes. Then this is ready, and now you just kind of do that again. But now when you plot it, you want to plot it with a different color, a different line type. Yeah, I mean, sometimes, yeah, I don't have to do this, just try out different things, but choose whatever you think is beautiful. Then, like this part of the code, if you really look into it, it will automatically scale the window of the plot so that everything is within that window, and then the scale on x and y direction is not distorted. But you can have this or not. This is totally for aesthetics of your plot. If you don't have it, your plot is going to be out of place. All you need to do is just like I said in the class, you just need to kind of zoom out manually every time. Okay, but yeah, just copy this down if you don't know what to do, and then if you care to understand it, you can read it. No big deal. Then that will end your plotting. Now the next step is to output a displacement table where is a displacement of the nodes. So the table is stored in a matrix with n rows, which is the number of nodes, and then 5 columns. Like you're like, why is 5? The first column will be the load ID. Second one will be their coordinates, second and third. Then you're like, I have this already, right? Yeah, well, just output it. Output it so that you know you input it right, there's no mistake. Then you get your displacements from your calculated displacements. This, yeah, each node you know how much it moved. Then the next one, it's another table for reaction forces. This force, I told you, we may not need to do reaction force or the force vector of every single node because most of them they'll be zero. So we only do those which we put boundary condition on. And also because how we input BC, that node 1, if they have they're constrained in both directions, there will be two lines in BC that all corresponding to load number 1. So we don't want to repeat to plot them, so we just try to grab the node numbers that we have BC and then do a unique, which will get rid of the duplicates. Then we just get that table up. Now we just get the node number, get the force, reaction force in X direction and reaction force in Y direction. We loop through all the unique nodes that has boundary condition on. Oh, that's simple enough. Then comes to the internal bar force. Okay, truss force, a little bit tricky. If you are in the class, you know exactly what I'm talking about. If you're not, well, I suggest you come to class. The forces you need to find, you need to actually get the displacement of the element, reconstruct that element's displacement vector, then recalculate the element stiffness matrix, then time those two together to get element force. Then you need to do a little transformation to change the element load of forces into axial forces. There's a couple ways to do it. Some of student, I think Ben said that, oh yeah, you can do a vector, whatever. Yeah, there's more clever way to do it, but this is how I do it. You get the empty table ready, a number of elements, and then 5 rows, 5 columns, sorry. Then for each element, you're gonna figure out, which node numbers they are connecting. Then grab the displacement for that node number, transpose it. Then you basically rerun your truss2D to get your EK. Okay, that's good. Then you time them together to get E force. Now the trick is that you need to recalculate the sine cosine of your theta, and then do this to transfer your element force back to the axial force. There's a if sentence there. It is for when you are vertical or not vertical, depending on which one it is. You use either cosine or sine. But anyway, by the end of the day, this will take care of the sines and everything. It will make compression to be negative. It will make tension to be positive. Then you just put them in the table. ID, the length of the element, the area of the element, the force, and the stress. And then in the end, you just do output displacement, force, vector. Like, I don't think anybody gonna look at them because they're long for realistic trusses. But those tables are like really nice. And in the end, you actually, you actually got a very good plot. I'll show you with just one example, which I showed in class. So basically, this example, I now like my workspace, empty, everything's cool, nothing there. All I do is that I just get my input. Yep. Ctrl C, come here, Ctrl V, and then I do that. Then you could, I got my AE boundary condition, connectivity, load, and load X, Y. And now all I need to do is just do this. I just call that thing. Let me maximize this. I'll call that thing, right? I just input everything. Then I say, okay, well, plot it. I mean, it's a positive number. And then finally, you use a scale factor of 20. Oh, actually, I did that in class. So maybe let's just do 10. So this one, then you just run it, and then it'll plot it. So yeah, look, these are original truss. This is deformed truss. And then you're like, oh, this support. Yeah, this guy has a upward force movement of 1 inch. Yeah, if you're using inch. So that's the plot. And if you do R, then you got all the tables. So for example, you got R dot E table, Yeah, this is your element. You have 10 elements. Their lengths, their forces, and their stress. The R reaction table. Yeah, just node number 1, node number 2, they have reaction forces. They're in both directions. Yeah, that makes sense. It looks like those are to the negative direction of your coordinates. Those are to the positive direction of your coordinates. Then finally, what? Yeah, force table? No. What is it? Oh, displacement table. Yeah. Okay. This is your node. You have 6 nodes. Their coordinates here. Their displacement in each direction, x and y. Okay, that concludes this one. And then go to Canvas to get your homework. And I will see you next time.